Hello and welcome. This is Stephen in wonderful Wiltshire. It's been a beautiful sunny day and it is time for gaining confidence on camera. And if you're joining me in the Be Live Streamers group, welcome. If you're joining me on the live video hub with Stephen, welcome. If you're on YouTube, welcome. If you're on LinkedIn, you're most welcome. If you want to say hello, that would be good. We're going to get the show underway as soon as this countdown clock has finished. The reason we have a countdown clock is simple and straightforward. We're actually going out to several different places at the same time, all of which have different connection times. So I know that by the time this countdown clock is finished, I will in fact be live everywhere. Okay, so from within the studio, easy to use. Show card today is courtesy of Be Live, Gaining Confidence on Camera, hosted by Stephen. Let's make a start. So, hello and welcome. And it's good to be back in the Be Live Streamers community. And I'll take my first comment of the day. And my first comment has come from Corinda. And Corinda is saying hello from me and Dom. Hello, Corinda and Dom. And hello to Grant. Hello, Grant. It's different. I'm normally watching you in the Be Live Streamers community. Today, you get the chance, and thank you for joining me. Okay. Now, today is all about camera confidence, and camera confidence is a learned skill. It's not something we're born with. I mean, I can quite honestly say that there was no internet when I was a youngster. It was just a twinkle in Tim Berners-Lee eye. It wasn't even that. It wasn't even a twinkle. It was smaller than a twinkle. So going live is a learned skill. And we're going to look at ways you can actually learn to broadcast live. Welcome to the show. And I'm waiting for that to come up on screen. I'm just pressing the button. And it has welcome to the show. And this is waiting, gaining confidence. That will scroll. It will say gaining confidence on camera in a moment. And please say hello. Okay, and Corinda and Grant have already said hello. If you're watching me live, please say hello too. That's what we're talking about today, is getting started, getting confident on camera, getting people involved, really getting the show rolling. And I want to start with just a practical way of doing this. Okay, now if I scroll down, always good to have an agenda. What I did before this show is that I spent an hour yesterday writing down all the things I wanted to talk about. Then I copied them into the agenda on Be Live, which means I've got a run of show. In other words, I've not come here totally blind. I've got a list of topics I'm going to talk about. I'm more than happy to change topic. If you've got a question, then just type it in. In fact, before we get started for real, I want to show this on screen. This is an interactive broadcast. You can ask questions and make comments. This is your show. This is a chance for you to ask questions live and get answers live. If I don't know the answer, I find somebody who does, and I'll come back to you the next time I'm live in the Be Live Streamers community and answer your questions. But essentially, this is your show. I'm just here as guide, okay, to actually guide you through thinking about going live to actually going live. And my phone, which hopefully you can't hear, is pinging like heck. Right, okay, now beginning is probably the most difficult step of going live. After 3,000 shows, just turn a camera on and I'm there. Bit of planning first. Always do your planning for your show, but ready to go live at the drop of a hat. And I've been live earlier today on Amazon Live. Just me speaking for 2 hours, but I was grateful to be joined by Efrahin, Dr. ELO, and by Corinda and by Roz, and great community we've got. And I'll take the next comment. The next comment is coming in from, okay, it will be here in a second. Cannot hear your Oh, right. Okay. Cannot hear your phone. Good. Well, you shouldn't actually, because just as a note, full of tips and tricks. Just let me type this in. Hang on. Let me type this in. Try again. Nope. Third time lucky. There's no rush here. Should have had this typed in before. Okay, one of the things that can happen whilst you're live, especially if you've got children or pets, is that the children can start talking or the dog can start barking. What you need if you're going to broadcast live is you need noise cancellation software. Now, the best that I found is a piece of software called crisp.ai. That's the URL. And if you go to crisp.ai, you can download the software onto your desktop, PC or Mac. And basically, it's now so good that the only thing that you can hear is my voice through the Elgato Wave microphone. It doesn't matter what happens around me. Scaffolding can crash down. You won't hear it. The only thing you can hear is me. My phone keeps pinging, presumably because messages are being sent. And you can't hear that. You can only hear my voice. So do think about getting noise cancellation software. Chris.ai, you can use it for free, 70 minutes each month, or you can get the professional version. And then you can broadcast anytime with no interruptions. And that's what it's all about. Okay, so first tip of the day is to actually use, if I get down here a second, crisp.ai. And thank you, David, for remarking that you can't hear anything apart from me. Okay, now, the thing about getting started is that you've got choices, yeah? And my friend Linda Sunshine West and I used to run a show called Just Do It on Be Live. And we used to say, just do it. If you're thinking about going live, just do it. Just do it. Just go live. Yeah, that's all you need to do. You can go live from your mobile phone. Yeah, you can go live from your Be Live studio. But if you've got a Be Live studio, it means you can do a lot more things than you can do with your phone. The first of those is practically, this is what you can do to actually get to the stage where you're confident to go out to the big wide world on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch from your Be Live studio. Create a private Facebook group with a friend. Okay, so just the two of you. And you'll be an admin, which means that you can go from your Live Studio direct into the group, and the only person who can see you is your friend. Now, they're a friend because they will do two things. One, they will support you. And secondly, they're not afraid of actually telling you what it's actually like. Okay, so if you go live with one friend in a group, then you're going to get an honest opinion on what you look like on camera, what your presentation style is like, how you sound, everything. You're going to get told everything. Ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask the questions of your friend, and get to the stage where your friend says, looking good. Yeah, that's the first step. And you've not, the only two people who've actually seen the video, and you and your friend. Don't be afraid of playing back a video. Many of us don't watch our own videos because we don't want to. But when you're starting off, do watch your video replays, okay, which you can get on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, or you can download them from Be Live and play them privately on a desktop. So, two of you in a Facebook group. The next thing is to add two more people to the group, two more friends. So now when you go live, you can go live in front of an audience of three. And because they're friends, they will give you their honest opinion, and you'll improve. Every time you do a broadcast, you improve. Yeah, especially if you watch it back. And there's the thing about live broadcasting, the beauty of live broadcasting is that nobody expects it to be perfect. It's not perfect. Something's going to go. I was broadcasting away today and I lost internet. There's nothing you can do about that apart from pick up and carry on. So live is about making mistakes. This is not television. We're not news presenters on Sky News or CNN. We're actually telling our stories, but we're not perfect. You don't have to be perfect. There are things you can do to be better, but perfect is something we all aspire to. And one day we might achieve it. So you got, then you know what's coming next, but I'm going to go through it anyway. You then add 4 more friends into the private group, and they can watch you on screen, and they can appraise your performance and give you honest feedback. And again, you're getting more practice. Now, at this stage, what you can do is to say to one of your 7 friends in the group, would you like to broadcast too? And the thing is that they will. Some of them will, some of them won't. Okay, just a note here. Most successful live broadcasters are in fact quiet people, introverts. But when you put them in front of a camera, they sort of blossom. And amongst your 7 friends in the group now, somebody will step up and say, I would like to have a go too, in which case you can support them. And then we're getting towards the final stage here, and that's to add 8 more friends. Now, when I say friends, it's contacts. So it can be friends of the friends you've already invited. So you've now got 16 people in the group, including you. Yeah. So we've gone, just to recap, start a group with 1 friend, add 2 more friends. Yeah. Add 4 more friends, add 8 more friends, and you've got 16 people in the group. Now, again, go live. It's all good practice, and you're going to get feedback. Listen to the feedback and react to it. Make changes. Don't be afraid to make changes. And all the time, your confidence is building, because the more you live broadcast, the greater your confidence is. It's a fact. Yeah, we know at BeLive, we know that if you get to the stage where you're actually broadcasting to the public, in other words, anybody out of the 2 billion plus Facebook users can actually see you. Once you've got to that stage and you're enjoying it, you'll just carry on. Yeah, but you need to get the groundwork done first. When you are ready, you can then go live in public. So you don't go live in the group, you go live on your personal profile, and guess what? You've already got an audience of 15 people who will watch you, yeah, who will support you, who will put comments in. And just remember, this is an interactive show. If you've got any questions, please do ask. So you've got 15 friends who will support you in your first public broadcast, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, or your website. Get a support group together. Help them. They will help you. And then when you go live, you've done umpteen, or we say up north, you've done a lot of shows. And sorry, that includes Yorkshire as well, because I'm from Lancashire, Grant's from Yorkshire. Basically, when you go live in public, you've got support of 15 people straight away. And other people will come to it. If you ask your friends to share your broadcast, not the first one, but to share the second one, the third one, the fourth one, then some will share it. More and more people will see you, and you're building, for want of a better word, you're actually building a tribe. So you've gone from 1 close friend to, I can't do it, 15 to 15 friends. And now you're out in the wide world. People are spreading the word about your live broadcast. People are coming to watch. And this is where it gets interesting, because if you can attract such an audience and keep it, yeah. Now, nobody is going to watch 30 minutes of a live broadcast. Nobody's going to watch an hour of a live broadcast. What people do is hop in and out of the broadcast. But if you can get this core group of supporters together, build a rapport with them, and then go live, then there's more chance of you actually succeeding. Okay, so let's wind back a bit. I'm going to go back here. Again, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, please say hello. Okay, these are the things that you can do in your broadcast. please say hello is the simplest one. Basically, if people want to get to know you and they don't know you already, then they will say hello. Second, and I've seen a lot of these over the years, but where are you watching? Wait a minute. Just a minute. I need to change that because it's only showing. Wait a minute. Let's do this properly. I'm going to go and I'm going to change there and apply. So that should really say, where are you watching from? Okay. So where are you watching from is a great party starter. And if you ask that question, you find out where your viewers are coming from. Believe you me, when you're out on Facebook Live, they will be coming from everywhere, every single corner of the globe. Question that's always interesting to ask is, which camera do you use? These are all sort of getting to know people questions, and people love to speak about their cameras. Okay, a lot of people have Logitechs, others have Obspot, others have Elgato face cams. Everybody's probably got a different camera, and asking about somebody's camera and asking them to say why they bought it can break the ice. Okay, the next item is, which microphone do you use? And that's akin to the camera question. Yeah, basically what you're asking is, which microphone do you use? And again, that's gets things started. And just a note, who am I? I've been broadcasting on Be Live since October 15th, 2016. Okay, which in live broadcasting terms, I mean, I broadcast for a year before that. That's when Facebook Live really took off, when Be Live got involved back in 2016. Right, just going through my agenda, and this is probably the most important thing I've said so far. When you're broadcasting, have fun. Okay, irrespective of the topic, enjoy talking about it. Talk to your own expertise, talk to your own experiences, tell stories. Live video is all about storytelling. And when you're telling your stories, tell them with passion. Get involved, bring people in to your world. This is your chance to reach out to people around the globe and bring them into your broadcast. And the only way you can do that is with enthusiasm. I know people, not a lot of people, but I know people who actually use a script, okay, where they will be reading from a script. It's a way of doing it, and it can be a way of getting started. But I prefer to use bullet points, which is what I'm using now on the agenda. And I have fun because I can like the best. Well, being on a live video is like being a comedian, in that you're telling individual stories. Some will be funny, some won't, which is why you're not a comedian. But it is the same principle, that basically, just as I've outlined, start off in a private group and then go public. What comedians do, and possibly stage hypnotists, is that they do all the smaller venues first whilst they perfect their act, and then bring their act onto the live stage and have fun with it. Yeah, you've got to have some form of expression, something that picks people up. Okay, thank you for watching live. If you have any questions, please ask. Broadcasting basics. Okay, now first thing about broadcasting live is the camera. Okay, now just so you know, this camera is, let's go here. This camera is a Logitech Brio 4K camera, and I'm pretending to look directly at the camera. That's a learned skill. One of the skills you need to learn is to actually look at the camera rather than looking at the screen. I've got one of my cameras set up on a tripod so I can look directly at the camera because the camera is at eye level. The setup I've got now, the Brio camera, is up on the monitor above me, which means that I've got to consciously look up. And most of the time I do. And when I look up, when I look at the camera, it looks as though I'm looking directly at you. That's the way that it works. If I look down at the screen, yeah, then it's not as good as actually looking up at the camera. Okay, so this is the Logitech Brio 4K, and this is an OBSBot, and this is an OBSBot camera. An OBSBot camera is great if you want to have different scenes. Basically, with the OBSBot camera, I can do this. Okay, I can come to me. Okay, so we're coming around to me. Hello, right? I can go to my desktop. Okay, so this is when I'm on Amazon Live. I can do a demonstration, and I can go out to the garden. Okay, and it's a beautiful sunny evening. This is a live capture. The leaves are blowing in the trees. Now, the reason that I use the OBSBot is to give variety to the broadcast that I do. And it is a way, if you think about it, one of the things about learning to go live is probably the first broadcast that you do. I'm going to come back to me, so I'm talking to camera. The first broadcast that you do, you're going to be pushed to do 30 minutes. Now, you have to, and I'm going to suggest you should do at least a 30-minute broadcast. Anything less than that, nobody sees you. Yeah, you need to practice until you've got 30 minutes. Doesn't matter in the beginning if you do 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but build up to doing a half-hour show. Yeah, do that. Now, if you're doing a half-hour show, it's handy to actually be able to cut away from yourself and go to the garden, carry on talking, but you can take a breather for a second while people look at the garden or people look at your desktop. Okay, but as far as cameras are concerned, I've got a comment come in, which I've just noticed. Before you spend a lot of money, yeah, when you're starting out, use the camera that's in your computer, be it PC or Mac, or, well, PC or Mac, internal camera these days are pretty good. And then think about getting an external camera and microphone. In terms of that, Logitech C920X is probably the best one. But let's say hello to, I'll take that title off screen and say hello to David. Right, okay, thank you for the question. And that's a fair question. When I'm demonstrating live on Amazon Live, my Live Studio has a built-in green screen removal software, background removal software. But the thing is that if I use background removal software and I pick up a camera and show it you whilst I'm using background removal software, then the problem is that it will get lost in the background will tear, so you won't be able to see the phone. So I need a solid background. So whilst you actually watching me now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, just loading some software. Be back with you in a second, and the software loads. Okay, this is my preferred setting when I'm broadcasting live. Basically, it's me on camera showing items. I've got the light on, I've got the brick on, and as far as you can see, I look as if I'm in front of a backdrop, brick wall. Okay, it is a brick wall, but the problem is that you need to experiment a bit to get this. If I go here, I'm just going to do something with the software you can download to control the camera, and I'm going to take you through reducing once, reducing twice, going to 90 degrees. This is how I look normally. Okay, this is my office. You can see the Samsung, you can see the books, you can see everything, you can see the chess set. And this is the default setting for a camera. But I don't want the default setting, I want my settings. So what you can see behind me is a green screen, and it's down in my carousel. Well, I'm not selling now, but it is down in my carousel on Amazon. And then draped over that is a photography backdrop. So that's the way I'm doing this, that when I go live on Amazon.com, I can make it appear that I'm not surrounded by books and computers and chess sets. It's just me. And this is part of framing. This is basically when you're live on camera, good practice is to be sat in the center of the screen. Now, how big you are is totally your choice. If you want to zoom in a little, yeah, then you can look like this. There are more distractions for people to see. Yeah, you're in control. But the thing you want to be when you're broadcasting live, and this is okay, you want to be in the center of the screen. Yeah, you want to have headroom. That's even the technical term for it, headroom. You don't want to be, I've seen too many Zoom calls where people are like this. Yeah, because they've not framed themselves. You should have headroom above you. You should be in the middle of the screen. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. It's not the only way, but if you sat off to the side, it distracts people. Try and be in the center of the screen with headroom. The other thing is, we all have a situation where we talk with our hands. Don't stop doing that, because that's a natural ability, but do try to cut it down. Don't forever, heaven's sake, go like that when you're on camera. Okay, what happens when you do that? I was asked a question earlier today, what's FPS stand for? And it's 30 frames per second. So what you're watching now effectively is moving images. The system is taking 30 photographs every second and transmitting them, and then it reassembles on the other side, and you've got moving pictures. Literally, this is moving pictures. And 30 frames per second, basically, if you're center of screen and you're sat reasonably still, then every single frame will be the same. So when it comes to the other end, the reassembly is a lot easier than if you're actually dancing. Yeah. Now, it's not a problem, but from a presentation point of view, you do want to be reasonably centered, headroom, and static. So thank you for the question, David. And the question was, we started off with backdrops, but we ended up with how to look on camera. Okay, so yes, it's basically, if you go to a well-known site like Amazon.com and you type in photography backdrop, you can then buy a backdrop of about £15, and you either hang it over a green screen like I have, or you put it on a frame. And if you put it on a frame, frame's about £45, and just works the same. But you're actually choosing your background. You're actually setting a mood. It's very important in a broadcast, especially on a Zoom call. If you want to stand out on if you want to stand out on a live broadcast, I didn't say that. If you want to stand out on a live broadcast, make sure your background fits in with the story you're actually telling. Okay, I got carried away then. So cameras. Start off with the internal camera, then look at, when you've done a few broadcasts, you can upgrade from that. The other thing is that the Logitech C920 has an inbuilt microphone, so it is also your first external microphone. As far as microphones are concerned, microphones are important, and you can use the internal microphone on your PC or Mac, no problem with that. The thing though is that what you want to avoid is bad sound. Bad sound, if your picture isn't perfect, it's not a problem. But if your sound has distortions in it, then people will stop watching. Remember, most people start watching and listening to your live broadcast and then go and do something else. And they'll carry on doing something else until you say, you know, the screen's changed, I've looked now. But they will stop listening to any video which has poor sound. Now, we're fortunate on Be Live in that the sound quality is very good. Okay. The next thing you want to get right, so you've got yourself a camera, which means that you look good. You've got a microphone so that you sound good. Then the next thing to get right is your lighting. Yeah. Now, if I switch my lighting off, okay, I'm going to go dark. Now, this is acceptable, and my camera, the Brio camera I'm using, is actually compensating. But if I want to be seen, I need some form of lighting. Now, you can use room lighting, yeah, when you start off, but then you want to get some sort of lighting to make sure you're lit properly. One of the questions on most of everything before sort of May, I was wearing glasses. I don't wear glasses now. But I had the problem with reflection with the lights, and I found a beautiful article which told you how to get rid of reflection in your glasses. It's in the Belivers group. I'll highlight it afterwards, but that's the only problem with lighting is reflection. Okay, the next item in here is practice. The more times you go live, the better you get at going live. The more practice you do, the more live broadcasts you do, the better you get. Not every broadcast has to be public, yeah, but if you do go live, you will improve. Okay, now, not only can you improve by just going live, you can improve by watching other people's videos as well. If you watch other people's videos as well, if you watch other people's videos, you'll learn a great deal. Watch other people's live broadcasts. Watch more broadcasts than you actually do yourself. And you'll learn. You'll learn how people actually present a show, how they tell stories, which images they use, which backdrops they use, everything about their particular expertise. Yeah. Watch live video. And I'm going to say it now, one of the best places to watch live video is Amazon Live, because you've got over 2,000 broadcasters in one place, all with individual presentation styles. So if you want to learn how to broadcast, do go to amazon.com/live and watch the broadcast. You'll find myself, Grant Saunders, Nick Wood, and Efrahin Lopez, Dr. ELO, all using BeLive on Amazon Live. And Amazon Live is the third largest website in the world, and we're using BeLive to actually broadcast on a regular basis. And that's basically part of the practicing. Okay, the more broadcasts you do, the better it gets. And we have a comment coming in, so I'm going to take that off screen. And oh, thank you, David. Most welcome, most welcome. Right. Okay. Excellent. If you right. Okay. I want to come back to just a general point here. If in a live broadcast you do your first live broadcast and nobody responds, don't worry. Eventually somebody will. And if you've got the 15 friends scenario going, they'll comment when you go live. But in addition to that, celebrate every comment that comes in. Do thank people for commenting. Do interact. Do show the comments in your BeLive studio, because you're actually building community. Yeah. And there is a point here. You don't have to show a comment just once. You can show it several times, especially if it's a comment as good as David's. Thank you. Right. Okay. So lighting, practice. Okay. Practice every chance you get. Practice on your mobile phone. Yeah. Take mobile videos too. Use the BeLive app if you're on an iPhone, and use mobile video on your iPhone. Okay, moving on. So practice is important. Now the next thing, so we've been through that section, private Facebook, right? Okay, and presence on camera. Let's just go through this again. Okay, presence on camera is important. First of all, you're live on camera to tell stories, and you're telling stories from your own experience, about your own expertise, about your own topic. It's a topic that you're in love with, that you enjoy talking about, that gets your enthusiasm going, and you want to tell the world about it. So we've talked about framing, okay, about getting yourself in the center, headroom, right? So framing we've done. I knew this would happen. I've actually got it in my agenda. We've already done it. Okay, next thing is mood. Okay, now mood is important. Okay, when you're on live video, basically you are 2D, you're two-dimensional, unless you put some expression and some enthusiasm into what you're talking about. You want to engage people, and your mood before you go live is important. Okay. Now, in an ideal world, switch your camera on, go live. Doesn't work that way, fortunately. But it does some of the time, but not most of the time. Most of the time, you've got to get yourself into the right frame of mind. Now, do something in the 30 minutes before you go live, do something that you enjoy. Now, I enjoy reading books. I enjoy listening to rock music. I enjoy chatting with Angelica. Do something to keep yourself engaged so you're thinking not about the broadcast, but about the topic you're talking about. Arrive in the studio 10 minutes before, check everything out, but make sure you're in a good mood. And if you want to play your favorite track on Alexa, do it. Yeah. Get yourself into the mood. Play mood music before you go live to get yourself into the mood. And if you've got an Alexa, she's not responding. Alexa, what's the temperature today?
At the moment, it's 27 degrees Celsius.
Thank you.
Tonight, you can expect a low of 12 degrees.
If you've got an Alexa, you can bring Alexa into your show. Yeah. She's talking.
To answer your question, to you by Ariana.
Alexa, stop. All right. Don't say her name too often. Don't say her name at the wrong time. But use the Echo Dot to actually play music. We've got 4 Echo Dots. Use the Echo Dot to actually play music to get you in the mood, or to read a poem, tell you a story. Get in the right mood. You want to be in a positive frame of mind before you go live, because the important thing is that your mood is communicated through the screen to the people watching. Now, I'm going to be careful here because I don't want to offend anybody. But if you're, for whatever reason, in a bad mood and you go live, that bad mood will be transmitted. Yeah. And an online reputation is only as good as your last show. If you go live in a bad mood, then people will catch the bad mood. They'll remember you for that, not the shows you did before. So mood is important. Use whatever you need to actually set the mood. We've talked about green screens. Green screens are great because green screens, you can actually change your background, tell the story. If you're doing a French cooking show, you could have a French flag in the background, or a picture of an Eiffel Tower or Champs-Élysées. Green screens are absolutely brilliant. In your Be Live studio, you've got the ability to use the green screen. And if you're not demonstrating product, use the green screen. I use it. I'll be using it tomorrow on Blubbing for Britain. I think tomorrow is episode 329 of Blubbing for Britain. We have been broadcasting for 6.5 years, most weeks. And we have a last, it's just 3 of us, myself, John and Peter. And it's a way of relaxing, really. We go live and we just chat about what's going on in the UK at the time we're actually live. And, absolutely brilliant. Okay, so shout out to John and Peter. Okay, we've talked about the backdrops, so we've covered that. See, most of what I was going to talk about. Okay, now the next topic. Planning the show. Part of building confidence is knowing what you're talking about. Yeah? And you do. You love the topic that you're talking about. You've got knowledge, extensive knowledge. But the thing is that if you've got all this knowledge and but it's not totally sorted out. It's all a bit random. Okay. What you need to do in terms of preparing for the show is just to spend a quiet 15 to 30 minutes writing down the main topics you're going to be talking about. Yeah. Do it at least 24, 48 hours before a live broadcast. Just make a list of the items that you're going to talk about. And this helps steady you. This is the list that's going to steer you through the broadcast. You're going to go from one topic to the next topic to the next topic. It's called the run of show, but you know exactly what's going to happen in your broadcast. You're in control, and you're more in control if you plan ahead and use the agenda in Be Live. Because as I've been doing extensively today, you can just skip through it. Doesn't mean you've got to stick to it, but it guides you through the show. So if I was telling you how to cook a lasagna, for example, I would say, okay, in terms of cooking a lasagna, these are the ingredients you need. So the first topic would be ingredients. Second topic would be the kitchen utensils that you need to make lasagna. Okay. Third would be all the cooking times, etc. So, and then it will be the practical demonstration of cooking. The run of show actually guides you step by step, so you don't forget anything. I mean, I go live. If I go here, let's go back a minute and show how this can be used. If I go back from this agenda, I've got several agendas here. If I'm talking about the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra using an agenda in BeLive, I can put its title on screen. I can tell you that it's got 256 gig of RAM storage. It's got an 8K camera and video. It's got the brightest display. And lo and behold, it's got an S Pen. Now, if I was doing that live, it probably takes me 5 minutes to do that. But there's the S Pen. Okay, and I can actually say, hello, BeLive. Okay, but I've gotten it. Basically, what I've done is I've used the agenda to actually make a list of the salient points that I'm going to use during my broadcast, all of which I need to go back. And I need to come down now to gaining confidence. And I'm going to come further down. Oh, wait a minute. I need to do something. You don't want to know about the S Pen all night, do you? Let's switch that off and go back into my agenda again, the agenda for this broadcast, and see where we've got to. Okay, thank you for watching live. Thank you for your support. And we're going to come down. Right, so in terms of planning the show, use the BeLive agenda. Jot your thoughts down the 48 hours before. This is a part of giving yourself confidence on camera, knowing what you're going to talk about. The worst thing in the world, well, one of the worst things in the world, is to basically plan a broadcast. Say you're going to do a broadcast, I'm going to be live at 2 o'clock on Thursday, and you don't do anything. And you turn up at 2 o'clock on Thursday, and you're going to talk about steam engines in the 1960s. And you know your facts. At least you think you know your facts. I've done this so I can get this pun. What's going to happen is that you start talking about steam engines, and then 5 to 10 minutes down the track, see what I did there? You run totally out of steam because you can't do a monologue live. It doesn't work. You have to have some form of planning of the show so that you can run through it in a logical sequence. So each live broadcast you should do should have a theme that you're going to talk about. Okay, steam engines in the 60s, making lasagna. Next thing is that you want to put together a storyline, a bullet points, the talking points, the agenda. That's all it is. And you put the agenda, cut and paste the agenda into your BeLive studio. And then when you're live, you can say, welcome to the show. And our topic today is getting confidence on camera. And please say hello. Where are you watching from? All of which get you off to a good start. Okay, so do plan your broadcast. Gives you more confidence. And confidence is what it's all about. Okay. Now, I know that some people actually use teleprompters You're either a teleprompter person or you're not. Teleprompters can be helpful because you've got the script and you're just actually reading. It means you've got to write the script. I love the freedom of just using an agenda, but teleprompters, if you want to make sure that you're golden, then you can use a teleprompter. Okay, and you can get them on your mobile phone. So you could hold your mobile phone and put your mobile phone in your eye line, and it's like that, and you could just read from the teleprompter. Just about. Okay, take some practice, but you could do it. Okay. Now remember that you're not alone on screen because you've got BeLive. If you were just using your mobile phone to broadcast, then it's just you on screen. Unless you do some blood tweaking. Because you're live on BeLive, okay, I better put this up because we are talking about BeLive and I'm broadcasting on BeLive. If I go over here and apply, because you're broadcasting on BeLive, in your live broadcast, you can use YouTube video to break things up. Okay, it's great just to take a breather for a couple of minutes by playing a YouTube video of your own, of somebody else's, your own preferably. It breaks the show up. Yeah, gives you a breather, and that's important. When I do a 2-hour show on Amazon, I play 2 videos, one after 40 minutes, one after an hour and 20 minutes, because I broadcast for 2 hours, and that gives me a break. Next thing is that BeLive is one of the few systems where we can actually display images on screen so easily. Yeah, so this is a BeLive feature. If you're looking to gain confidence, bring your photographs with you on screen. And I brought the whole collection here. So let's hide that. Hide that. Okay, I'll go back to me in a minute. Okay, we're getting some weird things happening, but I'm going to hide until I get to here. Okay, so images you can actually use. Yeah. And show cards, like the one next to me, you can use show cards to promote your broadcast. And do promote your broadcast. I mean, there's no reason not to. We've got the resources. You can broadcast to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, and your website. And you can tell people about your live broadcast, but that's a whole another topic. Do use countdown clocks. They're handy for basically pacing the show. And do, at the end of the live broadcast, thank people for watching. Yeah, always do that. And next show is called Structuring a Broadcast. Let me go here. So my next broadcast is in 2 weeks' time, and the topic in 2 weeks' time will be centered around structuring a broadcast. So let's take that off screen just a minute. Let me go here. I want to hide that. Okay, so the next show is structuring a broadcast. I thought I misspelt it then. Right, okay, let's take that off screen and let's come back to me. So basically, going back up to the top, gaining confidence on camera is a gradual process. Yeah, you're in control. You go live when you want to go live. You can start going live in a private group, gain confidence, and then go out to the big wide world with your posse of 15 friends who are going to cheer you on. We're going to talk about structuring in 2 weeks' time. I want to say thank you today to Corinda, to Grant. I'm just making sure I haven't missed any comments. To Corinda, to Grant, to David, and thank you for all the comments. And that was Chris Dow for noise cancellation, and thank you for that, David. Thank you. Okay, this has been, let's take that off screen. This has been Stephen live from Wonderful Wiltshire. It's been good to be back in the live streaming community. If you've got any questions at all, then please do pop it in the comments or contact me. You can contact me anywhere, especially in the live streaming community. If you comment in there, I will see it straight away. I've got an alarm set. This broadcast has been on Be Live. Okay, we've been broadcasting to YouTube and LinkedIn. Thank you, people of YouTube and LinkedIn, for actually watching this live broadcast. If you've got any questions about this, then you can contact me on LinkedIn or on YouTube. I will do my best to answer your questions. The reason that this topic came about, a word of explanation. Okay, it's not immediately apparent. Basically, I mean, as I said earlier, I've been broadcasting for 6-7 years now. It's not immediately apparent that there are new people. When I say new people, there are people new to broadcasting every single day of the year. And there are people who just walked through the door and decided to go live. There are people who've not been live before. We've been helped in a brilliant way by the fact that everybody's now been on a Zoom call. It's hard to find somebody who's not been on a Zoom call in the last 2.25 years. But going live on your own is a different skill set from actually being one of the participants on a Zoom call. And we forget that there are new live streamers every day. Yeah, I mean, I'm reminded of this on Amazon Live because new people come to stream on Amazon Live every day, and it's brilliant to actually watch people starting. So this broadcast today, I put together a list of 15 topics that I would love to talk about, and we're doing the topics one by one over the coming months in the live streaming community. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful that you're actually watching live. But just remember, there's always somebody who's new to broadcasting, who's new to your topic, who's never seen you before. An amazing thought. Okay, this has been Stephen in wonderful Wiltshire in England. Before I go, I'm going to go here, just a minute. And before I go, I'm going to do this. Okay, because I can, because I'm in my Be Live studio, what I'm going to do is before I go, and I'm going to disappear in a few minutes, I'm going to take that logo off because you're still watching. Okay, this video was shot with the Samsung S22, and this is our back garden. Angelica and I, we live here. Let's go. Video with the Samsung S22 Ultra, and we're in the garden on a beautiful sunny day. It's about 31 degrees, and let's take a walk down the path and see what we can find. Okay, now what I'm checking is the sound quality and also the video quality. So let's see how this works. So I can pan round. Okay, and I'm going to go onto the grass, and this is our newer wildflower garden, and the right hand side is taking off slowly, but the left hand side is firmly established. As I go round again and down the garden. Okay, Angelica put a lot of work into getting the garden into the state it's in, and I want to take you down now to the new table and chairs that we've got. Chairs are covered up to protect them because, as you can see, we are out in the countryside and birds can actually fly over, which is not a good idea. But this is our brand new table, and we saw it in the local garden centre and thought, let's have that. So we did, we bought it. Okay, now over here is our wild animal enclosure, and if I go around, the corner, we should see, hopefully, they're camera friendly. If I go around here, we should be able to see. Hello! Chickens! Hello! Okay, and we've got 4 chickens in total. They're all rather camera shy. Yeah, and they're turning away from the camera. They know what's going on. They know they're being filmed. Apart from the one who's going to be a star someday. Okay, and this is an igloo, which is where they live. And it's very easy to maintain. Chickens are easy to maintain. And we're actually currently getting 4 eggs a day. And the chickens were rescue chickens. In other words, they had been kept for their egg laying. After 2 years they let the chickens go, and then the chickens have got to be rehoused, and we actually managed to get hold of 4. So these are all about the same age and will go on for 2 or 3 years laying eggs for us, and we're currently getting 25 eggs a week, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm walking further down. Remember, because you're on BeLive, you can use YouTube video in your live broadcast to help tell your story. When you're starting off, get your agenda together, get your practice done, get your images, get your YouTube videos, practice, practice, practice. Learn to look at the camera. This has been Stephen in wonderful Wiltshire. Thank you for staying with me. I wish you an enjoyable rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I'll be back again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.